I'm Patrick Bailey with iQlist.com. Today is April 2nd, 2018. And in this video, I'm going to explore the question, can I print out with more than one color on a regular Prusa i3 MK3 3D printer? Okay, to break the suspense, yes, you can print with multicolors on a regular Prusa i3 Mark III. Now, Prusa does have a multicolored printer, which I haven't touched, I haven't gone near. I'm still fairly new, and so I'm trying to figure my way around. But I have figured out something simple that you can do that is part of the Prusa control where you actually can change colors based on layers. Now, there may be some way to do more advanced things where you can actually change colors within the same layer, but I'm not going anywhere near that because I want to keep things simple for now. And imagine changing a color twice every layer for many, many layers. That seems very tedious. I'm sure it's possible, but I don't want to go there yet. I think at that point I'd probably want to get some kind of multicolored 3D printer in the future, but nowhere near there yet. I like to keep it simple. So what happened this last week, I had my nieces over and had them try to find something to 3D print, and one of them picked this pineapple on Thingiverse, and this happens to be thing 1328215. And I thought, cool, we'll print out this pineapple. And I thought, well, I had done one tiny print before where I actually figured out how I can tell in Prusa control, tell it to stop and allow me to switch out the filament so that it can actually start doing a different color on another layer. And this pineapple is kind of like the perfect way to go because the pineapple can be one color and then the leaves can be another. And so it kind of is a perfect example to follow. So we did it, and it looked really cool. So I decided, let's go do a video on that. So let's do a video on that. So here's the thing. Let me go download the Pineapple Express by Granag. Granag? G-R-N-A-G. Let me download this guy. And let me bring up the Prusa control, because I want to keep this simple. I don't want to have a bunch of strange things, and I want to use the simple tools for now. So let me go drop that pineapple STL file in. Let's make this a little bigger. There you go. So it looked pretty cool. So what we decided to do as a first experiment, I think we actually made it bigger. We did make it bigger because it seemed a little small. So I'm going to go with the bigger again. I think we made it 140% bigger. Maybe it was 130. We made it, no, let's go with 140. We made it 140% bigger, I'm pretty sure. And then what you can do here is just generate it. So click generate, it'll start making the G code. But then afterwards, there's this little thing I happened upon. I'm sure it's in the documentation. I'm sure everyone else has been 3D printing for months and years, already knows. There's a little option here in Prusa Control where you can tell it to, at this layer, allow you to switch out the filament. And you get that option after you generate the G code. So here I am generating the G code. Okay, there we go. Now over here, I can go through the layers and see how it's going to turn out. But over here, you'll notice this little plus button. And that little plus button allows you to say add, see right there, add color change point. And so you could actually do that every layer if you wanted to, but I'm not going to do that. So let me go right up here, roughly to where it starts to get to the leaves. So I'd say, yeah, let's go right about there. And we'll say from there on, it's going to be leaves. So I can click this plus button, and now what it's going to do is it's going, when it runs, and it gets to that point, it'll stop, it'll make a little alarming noise, and then pull the filament head out and allow you to swap the filament, which is really, really cool. And if I wanted to, I could keep having more layers if I wanted to. It'd be a little crazy in this example, but if you want to make something striped or something, you could. But in this case, we're fairly simple. I just want it right at that point. And so now now that I have that, I save the G code, which now actually has another part in there that tells the Prusa to stop. So we'll save that off. I'll save it to my desktop for right now. Save. Okay, so now that I've got that saved, let's go print it and see how well it does. Okay, I think we're almost there. So this should hopefully pause at, I think, 66.65 for the elevation. And right now we're at 65.15, so we're I don't know, I think a minute or so away, so I may have to fast forward a little bit of this video, but I just wanted to record what actually happens when it wants you to, when you have this breakpoint. I'm guessing they call it a breakpoint at a level, so that allows you to change out the filament to a different color. And so pause point, break point. I'm sure someone has a name for it by now. I should probably go look that up. Or it could be that people are arguing between pause point and break point.
Break means like it breaks.
Yeah. But there are still a lot of guys, more so than women, doing this, and us guys tend to make fearsome words. So if you ever are a Linux geek, there's a lot of things like kill is a command and things like that. We tend to, I don't know what it is, we make fearsome words. So if it was a guy, it would probably be break point. If there was a girl involved going, why would you call it a break point? Call it a pause point. Pause point makes more sense. Okay, 65.6. Getting there. And I've got my bit of green filament ready to go to load it up once it hits that point here shortly. Let's see, 65.75. Now I haven't had much time looking into the multicolored printers because I figure it's just too much at a beginning stage like me. I mean, at some point I probably get one, but I'm thinking I probably won't get one for a year. I think there's more than enough to learn just doing single colors and doing multicolors just via layers for now. For me. But who knows, 5 years from now the multicolored ones may be so simple that you just start with a multicolor one. But it's 2018. I don't think it's a simple place to start right now. 66.05. Slowly but surely. $66.35. So that means I just have this layer and 2 more to go, I think. Or 1 more. Guess it depends on if it pauses before that layer or after that layer. I guess it would pause right at that layer. So if that's the case, then this should go at 66.35, you had 0.15, so 65, oh there we go, 66.5. So does it pause right at 66.65? I would guess yeah. We'll see.
It just keeps going.
Yes, it keeps. I hope not. After doing all this. Oh, that would be funny. Kind of. Oh, okay, so it paused right at the beginning of that layer. Cool. So there you go. So you hear that beep. It's saying, it's kind of cool because it alarms you like that. So it says, please press the knob to unload the filament. So I'll unload what we currently have. Dun, dun, dun. Put that aside. And please pull out filament immediately, which I did. Was filament unloaded successfully? Yes. Insert filament and press the knob. Loading filament. Okay, make sure we got the right color coming through. Alright, I think we got it. Cool. Has it changed color correctly? Yep, that's green. So hit yes, and hopefully it'll just pick back up and start doing, oh, we got a little green goob. Oh, cool. See, I've only done this twice before. On the last pineapple, on one little project where I striped something for my son. It's just kind of cool to see that it works. On something that has a really perfect break point to change colors at. Cool. Okay, so this turned out really awesome. This was a lot of fun to print. This was just fun to print. This was cool. And this was just a perfect design where changing the color out right at a line, right at a layer, just worked out perfectly because it just looks like it was intended to be. So for having just a normal 3D printer at this point where I don't have a multicolor printer, it's nice to know that you can do things like this. So I'm just really stoked. But now for the numbers. So showing my numbers, what I do is I base my numbers off 10 cents per kilowatt for my electricity. And I also base my filament cost at 6 cents per meter. And that's from the estimate that there's 333 meters in a spool of filament. And that a spool of filament, a 1 kilogram spool, goes for about $20. So that comes out to about 6 cents per filament. So with those numbers, here's my numbers. The time for this print took 8 hours and 4 minutes. It took 6.7 cents with electricity, and it took 70.9 meters of filament. So that came out to $4.25 worth of filament. And when you add it all together, you get $4.31 for this print. So not bad. I'm pretty happy. This is cool. My daughter's already claimed it for her own, so it's going in her room. So with that in mind, here I'll just put a longer time lapse on the end of this because I think time lapses are just fun to watch. Watching a 3D printer print these things out. So with that, here's the time-lapsey goodness. Hey, if you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, hey, give it a thumbs down. Also, if you like what we were doing here, subscribe to the channel by clicking the subscribe button. And lastly, have a piece of info to share? Just post a comment.